Hello, it's Ricardo and welcome back to Farming Simulator 2022. Well, as you can see, I've got myself a eye tracker and it's the Tobii Eye Tracker 5. So what I've done is I've integrated it into Farming Simulator 2022, which is quite a seamless integration. And in this video, we're going to go through, is it worthwhile to use in Farming Simulator 2022? We're also going to go through the fact of installing the Tobii Eye Tracker software onto your PC. And then we're going to go through the setup of Farming Simulator 2022 and using it and what my settings are with it. Whether I think it's good, should there be any improvements, etc, etc. With Farming Simulator 2025 coming up on us soon, this really could be an option. And I hope this is built in to that version as well. Because to be fair, as you can see, I think it's quite good, even though I'm hammering down the wrong side of the road. You can tell I am indeed European. Anyway, in all, I think this adds an extra level of immersion to the game, straight off the bat, and you are making more use of driving around in the cab and having the ability to look out the windows and seeing those extra percentages of the game you may not have seen if you were using a conventional method or even mouse look. Anyway, let's get into the installation of the Tobii Eye Tracker and Eye Tracker software. Let's get cracking. Now, if you're wondering what the Tobii Eye Tracker 5 is, it's a device that tracks both your head and eye movements for use in PC gaming, esports training and streaming. It's also got a very good accessibility play as well for those who are perhaps living with a disability or disadvantagement. Some of the features include it tracks both your head and eye movements, it's enhanced responsiveness with minimal latency, it's a dedicated piece of kit, it's durable and lightweight, Windows Hello certified as well for facial recognition, and is supported with over 180 games so far, including Elite Dangerous, Microsoft Flight Simulator, Farming Simulator, Far Cry, Euro Truck Simulator. Did I mention Elite Dangerous? Perhaps I did. But to be fair, it can significantly enhance the immersion of PC gaming by allowing you to control in-game elements with your eyes. And as you'll hear me go through this video, we're going to go through the installation of the device on the monitor. We're going to go through the installation of the software, the drivers, and then getting it working in Farming Simulator. And you'll hear me say that this does add an extra level of immersion, and this extra level of immersion does give you access to, say, 25% of the screen each side that you might not generally be looking at and be missing out of in the game. Either way, if you are a PC gamer looking for a way to make your way in the gaming experience to the next level, then this could be the way for you if VR headsets are too pricey. So let's jump in and get this thing sorted out. So one of the first things you're going to have to do for your Tobii Eye Tracker 5 is to install the drivers, install the various pieces of software, the Tobii Experience and what have you. You can do that quite easily. The driver should automatically install on a Windows system in regards to Windows Update, which is a great thing. If not, and if you'd rather install a driver manually, then get yourself over to https://gaming.tobii.com. This is the website you're typically going to see. Now you can see we've selected the Tobii Eye Tracker 5 here, and we're going to move over to downloads. Now I've plugged my Tobii Eye Tracker into my computer and I've got it positioned. We're going to select Tobii Eye Tracking. We're going to select our device, Tobii Eye Tracker 5. No problem. We've got our driver down here. We're going to download our driver. It's going to open up. All that seems to be fine, and we're going to get that installed. So straight away we've got our Tobii Eye Tracker 5 offline installer. Now you may have a different number at the end of this. That'll be the version of the software. We're going to double click that and get that installed. It's please wait while Windows configures your Tobii Experience software. No problem. We can afford to wait. I'm going to access this and say yes, install it. Couple of seconds to wait. Okay, so here we go. Now it's turned around and said, hey, get an app to open this Tobii Eye Tracking link. Your PC does not have an app to open this link. Try looking for a compatible app in the Microsoft Store. But clicking on this red button will take you directly there. Here we go. Here's the Microsoft Store, the Windows Store, and there's the Tobii Experience. Now you can see I've already got it owned, right? I'm going to get that installed. Now what this does, some people have got reviews on these applications. This will get this working on your device. We're going to get that installed. And you can see it installs the Tobii Experience application. So we're going to start the download and let Windows install it automatically. Now check this out. It installed. Great. And you know it's installed because it starts playing a little video for you. So this Tobii Experience application, we're going to get started with that. We're going to accept the end user license agreement. It states it doesn't track what you do or what you see, which is great. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do our eye tracker. So this is the display. All right. If I want to go on and use it on a second display, if you've got multi monitors and perhaps you want it on another monitor, you can click that button and it'll swap to a different monitor. This is on my main monitor. This is my display. So we can say this one, which is cool. And then it's going to allow you to align where you've positioned your Tobii Eye Tracker on your monitor to where it sits on the screen. And you can do this by dragging the arrows backwards and forwards. Well, where I have it is just about where the default is, and it all lines up. Now there's going to be lines, and these lines on the unit are going to allow you to line up with these arrows on the monitor. They're on the top of the unit. There's very slight, faint white lines, and if you've got the unit the right way up, and you should have because the Tobii icon will be the right way up, you can align it to these lines. We're going to say done because we're all lined up. Now we're going to sit in an upright position. You'll notice that two dots, two red sort of like LEDs will come on ready to track you. Don't be alarmed. This is not our AI overlords here to take us over. We're going to say done. I'm going to say these are your eyes. Brilliant. There's my eyes. Fantastic. They've picked up on my eyes, hopefully. Are you there? Yes, I am. You might need to lean forward a bit more. There I am. There's my eyes. It's got my eyes. Now we're going to calibrate our eyes. And we're going to look at each dot until it explodes. That's the first one. And we've got a triangle effect up there. We're going to slightly move our head. There you go. That's exploded. That's exploded. And that's exploded. Great. Brilliant. Fantastic. Now you should have 4 lights on your unit. So we've done one dot. It's an inverted triangle. Oops, no detection. Sorry about this, but the eye tracker can't detect your eyes. Now this is really what you want to see if you have problems with this. It says, are you wearing glasses? Give them a wipe. Is there bright or direct sunlight? And just relax. And it's okay to blink. So we're going to try again. Look at each dot till it explodes. That's the first one. We're going to do the top one. Now we're going to do the bottom one. And now we're going to do the bottom left. And now it'll go back to its inverse triangle. We'll do the center one. Top right. Top left. Brilliant. It's tracked us. Isn't that good stuff? Moving on. That's calibration. We're going to call it Ricardo 1. That'll do for us. Now this is basically if you want to have different people using the PC and have that Tobii Eye Tracker experience. So there you go. You can game, you can stream. It tells you about your privacy as well and what you can use for productivity apps as well in the terms of say using it for accessibility, or if you've got your hands free, or maybe you may be living with a disability where you need that additional use of using your head to move cursors around. It really is quite flexible, to be honest with you. Now you can see my Tobii Eye Tracking right here. I've got Ricardo 1. There you go. I can go through that setup again. I can preview where my gaze is looking. And you can see I'm using the bubbles here. And we'll go through changing bubbles to heat maps to solids a little bit later on in this video. You can also create a new profile should you want to. or if you want to change your screen and move your Tobii Eye Tracker to a different screen, then by all means you can. So what we're going to do, we're going to turn that off. That's all right then, and we're going to move on to the next section, which is going on to downloading some of the other software. Now here we've got Tobii Ghost. Now Tobii Ghost is an add-on, as it mentions on its website, to the Tobii Eye tracking software that enables streamers to give their audience the insight of seeing where they're looking. This is brilliant, really good stuff. So what we're going to do, we're going to download that, and then we're going to download and install the Tobii Hub. Now I've already got these downloaded. Here they are. So we're going to start with Tobii Ghost, and we're going to double click on that. That's going to go through the installation process. Brilliant. That seems to be quite easy. Let's put that in the center of the screen. So installing Tobii Ghost. We want to create a desktop icon and a menu shortcut. We'll confirm with that. Now you also, if you're fortunate enough to have a Stream Deck by Elgato, you're able to add in buttons to the Stream Deck. You do that by getting the plugin, click Get Plugin. That'll take you to the Elgato web page right there, and then you can say install it, and then open that particular plugin in the Stream Deck. Now this is my Stream Deck. I got this set up onto a second page. There's my standard page as well that I use for my Elite Dangerous Farming Simulator, Truck Simulator, in-game streaming effects. So I've got the Tobii Ghost to be able to turn that on and off, and you can see right at the bottom here we've got that aspect of things. We've got the enable, right, as well, and we've got the select profile. So the enable, what we're going to do is we're going to pop that on there, right? There you go, there's our enable, and you can see that's what it is. We can enable and we can disable it. Well, we've already got this, we don't need to do this twice. So we'll leave it like that for, and you can put in a little heading if you want, enable, just so you know. And it's on a toggle, so it's an enable disable aspect of things. And then we've got Elgato for our profiles. So I've got a bubble profile, and I've also got a heat map profile, and we'll come on to that a little bit later. But that's basically the Stream Deck all set up. Just scroll to the bottom, you'll see Tobii Ghost at the bottom, and then you're laughing all the way to the bank. Right, brilliant. So that was our Stream Deck. So that's Tobii Ghost all installed. If we click on that, you can see you've got a settings icon as well on Tobii Ghost. Now this is where I mean, it's what we're going to talk about. You can link that to Twitch, should you want to. You can also embed Ghost into content. You can then sync and transfer your eye tracking data to Twitch, but we're going to do a different video on that at a later date. Now I typically stream in 1920 by 1080, so that's what it's going to be looked for in the area for me to stream. And you can put on vendor overlays. You can also do a pop-up for Twitch viewers as well. Anyway, that's all one side of this. We're not really going to dwell too much on, which is the streaming side. But over here on the right-hand side in the Tobii Ghost, right, we can preview again what it actually looks like. And that's the bubble. You can see I'm looking directly in the center of the screen. If I look to the top left, there you go, all the way down to the bottom right, top right, and I can go down to the bottom left. It really is quite intuitive. Now you can customize your experiences and you can assign it to a profile. Now this is my bubble profile, and you can see I've assigned it to a profile named Bubble. You've guessed it. And you can also assign a hotkey to this if you haven't got a Stream Deck. I've got a Stream Deck, I don't need to assign a hotkey. You can then press the desired keys and away you go, right? So we're going to cancel that. Now, here we go. If I was going to use it on Stream Deck, I'll pull up the Stream Deck. You can see Bubble. There's the profile I've got there, Bubble, which coincides directly with the profile I've called it in Tobii Ghost. Hope that kind of makes sense. You can set the size of the bubble as well. You can have it smaller. You can have it a bit larger. You can set the responsiveness, the trail, and the decay. The decay is how long it stays on the screen for, and a lot of that is default. Now, if you've got a slight visual impairment, on the level of accessibility and inclusion, you can set the color of your bubble. Now I've gone for green because I had laser eye surgery about 15 years ago, and just before the guy turned around and said, oh, it's going to go really well, he said, you may have some trouble seeing dark blues. No problem. So dark blue is not going to be for me, right? But the green I think works quite well. So that's what I can do. And you can have these slider buttons as well to change the red, green and blue should you want to. Whatever changes you make here, you have got to update your profile for. Now my profile is the Ricardo 1 profile. There's also a little checkbox at the bottom, have the ghost off by default when viewers arrive to your channel. That's when it's linked directly to Steam. Now you can see the ghost Twitch extension is connected to my stream channel, which is Ricardo's Gaming 71. We stream every Saturday and Sunday, and when there's in-game events we stream them too as well. But you can do that sync. Click that and it'll ask you to log on and go through your Twitch authentication process. But we'll do another video on that anyway. So I'm going to turn off this preview because it's a little bit irritating, right? Just like that. Brilliant. That was Tobii Ghost. Well, the next thing we've got to install now, right, is going to be the Game Hub. Let's double click on that and get that installed. Now, the Game Hub is basically got support for over 180 games and increasing daily. This installing of the Tobii Game Hub couldn't be easier. We want a desktop shortcut and we want a start menu icon. We're going to say select. So it does give you a couple of options. Here you've got an option to get a tripod bracket for your Tobii Eye Tracker. Again, it'll use magnets to connect it. We've got all the different tracker updates here for X camera. You've got the help and you've got camera boost. A little bit about camera boost here as well, which we're gonna talk about a little bit later. And playing War Thunder with eye tracking, it's got, you know, some use cases there. Let's talk about this new feature of camera boost. If you click on learn more there, it'll take you to a website and it'll explain what camera boost actually is. Now, camera boost creates an additional boost to your head tracking rotation when you rotate your head towards where you are looking on the screen. The boost gets stronger the further from the center of the screen you are looking and the more your head rotation is in the same direction. And currently it's supported on Star Citizen, War Thunder, DCS, Elite Dangerous coming on the 25th of July, X-Plane, currently not on Farming Simulator, which is a bit of a thing, but never mind, you know, it'll come in time. We're all happy with it. Any sort of head movement will be great. But there are supported games so far. We only expect this to extend in the future. So this is great, fantastic. Let's go back to our Tobii Gaming download and the Tobii Game Hub. There it is. It's all installed. We're going to click on games. Click on the refresh item. It'll go through and see all the games that are currently compatible with the Tobii Eye Tracker 5 piece of equipment. Star Citizen, X4, Farming Simulator, the Truck Simulators, and good old Elite Dangerous. And that's not bad. You can then show all the other games that you may want to use with that. Now, that's great. You can go through these and say, oh, I got that game. I'll go back onto Steam and I'll reinstall it. The options are there for you to do so. Currently, it's about 180 games. That's fantastic. And that's only going to expand in time. Well, that, effectively, everybody, is how you install the Tobii Eye Tracker software, the Ghost and the Tobii Eye Tracker Game Hub software as well. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy. If you've got any problems, my suggestion at this point now, right, is to reboot your machine completely. Switch it off at the wall, shut it down, whatever, and then start it back up again. You've installed a driver and accompanying software. It's pretty much good practice to do so, no matter what Microsoft tells you. Right, here we are in Farming Simulator 2022. Now this game has native support for the Tobii head tracking. Great. How'd you set it up? Well, I'll tell you. You go into options. That main cog here, you'll see it. Head eye tracking. Off or on. Simple as that. Couldn't be any easier. Then we're going to go down here, we've got all this stuff where you go check all your settings, the field of view. You may need to change that a little bit. You know, you might want to turn off camera bobbing as well. Might give you a little bit of nausea. Into the keys. Here we go. Scroll all the way down here. Make sure all your keys are all set up. All the things we've got in your for farming simulator. Worthwhile just taking a good look through all of that. We've got the game select your camera inside, so that's what you'd be using to have a good look around. All the bale stacking, arena mode. Alright, we're done. And then with the settings here, we've got the device for mouse. Now, this is quite important. You've got your mouse sensitivity at 100%, that's default, and it's set the head tracking sensitivity to 50. So, let's just see what it looks like. If we say switch device, if you go to X, you can see this is my Satec X52 it's picked up. Well, I'm not going to be using that. We'll switch that back to my mouse. So that's all there is really to it. We can get into Farming Simulator now and give you an idea of what it looks like from inside a good old tractor. Okay then, so one of the first things I notice, and I've got the ghosting switched on so you can see where my eyes are looking, is that when you're walking around, and I was kind of worried about this because it could be a bit disorientating, when you're walking around, the eye tracking does nothing. It's only when you're in the cab of a appliance, a tractor, a harvester, that sort of thing. So here we go. We've got a lovely combine right over there. Look at that, doing its funky thing. Let's get into that. Ooh, look at that straight away. I've probably got to work on the centering, because that for me is the center. So I got to look at the centering of what's going on there. I find myself having to look down quite a bit, but looking around, it does track very nicely. If I look all the way around, you can see the back hoppers. Is there a way to center this? Perhaps. No idea. No idea. I have to check the key binds for centering the head tracking, and perhaps that will help me out. So we spoke a little bit about the sensitivity, and the problem I've got with the sensitivity here with the eye tracking is it's too harsh. I'm going to try it at 25%, and I'm going to apply that and say OK. Let's escape, escape, escape. Let's get back and into career mode, into our save game, and see how it goes. Now here I am back in my tractor. I got my sensitivity switched down somewhat, and so you can see what I'm doing. I've got the ghosting on. Now I am doing something or other with a field. I am crop dusting. I'm spraying with some sort of fertilizer on the field. Again, the same problem leaves. I should be more like higher up like this, I think, looking, and that could have something to do with the eye tracking I've got done. It's not so prevalent, I think, in Elite Dangerous. I can still look down, look around, but I'm there, you know, with the slightest of head movement. I'm there in this tractor. I am fertilizing a field with liquid fertilizer. How cool is that? You know, and I've got an AI obviously driving while I'm looking around and not looking where I'm going. But these are the extra aspects of the game that you're not seeing when you're just looking straight forward. You know what I mean? That's exactly what it is. So I think in this case, and I think it could be a case of the fact that the eye tracker needs to go down a bit. I think that's probably where it is. And I think the bracket that it comes with does, over time and with heat, release itself. So you constantly find yourself fiddling with the bracket. So perhaps mounting it to the bezel of your monitor with the provided adhesive magnets could be the thing to do. And it might well be the thing to do. I think that could work quite well. I mean, I think like this. For me, and I'm like 5'7" and a bit, you know, where I'm sat up against my monitor, I usually have a good field of view. That could be the best option. Or go for the tripod mount. There we are. We can look out our window. We can see a car. This is something I always struggle with and have big collisions with. I think it works. The level of immersion, I think, is great. It's much better than what you get as standard. And in Farming Simulator, you know, it's all about the big machines. It's about the countryside. And if you're just sat there looking out the front window, you're missing out on the rest of this, you know, of these great graphics. And when Farming Simulator 2025 gets released, hopefully, you know, head tracking is going to be involved in there, standards like what it is here now. You know, the graphics are going to be even better, and we'll get an even more better farming experience. Either way, my name's been Ricardo. This has been how to get the Tobii Eye Tracker working with Farming Simulator and working on your PC as well. Pretty cool, no? I think it is. Anyway, check back for more videos in the Farming Simulator series, and check out my two other channels, one for Elite Dangerous, which is Ricardo's Gaming, and also this one where I've got basically a general variety of all non-Elite Dangerous games as well. Take it easy. I'll see you soon.